It hasn't even been a month since Donald Trump took office, and the 47th President of America is already stirring the hornet's nest. From deploying the US Army at the border with Mexico to threatening to deploy the US Navy to take over the Panama Canal. Trump's approach towards Latin America has been unlike that of his predecessor, Joe Biden, and now Trump has his eyes on Venezuela. The US Commander-in-Chief wants Nicolas Maduro out of office, but the Venezuelan leader is not backing down. He has decided to show Trump who's boss. As Maduro begins his third term, he announced that he will take his enemies by the horn. On the 29th of July 2024, Nicolas Maduro won a third term as president. He defeated opposition leaders Edmundo Gonzalez and Maria Corina Machado in what has gone down as a brutal political battle. Maduro has consolidated his power since the election, sending opponents to jail and forcing Gonzalez to flee to Spain. A protege of Hugo Chavez, Maduro will lead the oil-rich nation of Venezuela for another term.
Juro por la memoria eterna.
I swear on the eternal memory of our beloved leader and commander Hugo Chavez. And I swear on the historic, noble, and courageous people of Venezuela, before this Constitution, that I will fulfill all of its mandates, that I will enforce all the obligations of the Constitution and the laws of the Republic. May this new presidential term be a period of peace, of prosperity, of equality, and a new democracy. I swear on history, on my life, and I will fulfill my mandate.
Lo juro por mi vida, y así cumpliré.
But his re-election has not been accepted in the neighborhood. Washington and its allies want Maduro out, and Colombia has called for the military invasion of Venezuela to remove Maduro from power. Álvaro Uribe and Iván Duque are two former presidents of Colombia who want to invade Venezuela. They want Maduro gone before he can accumulate more power. But Maduro has responded. He wants to meet the Colombian leaders on the battlefield, and he has ordered his military to prepare for war.
En la Fuerza Armada Nacional Bolivariana.
In the Bolivarian National Armed Forces, whoever attacks one of its members attacks the whole, and we will act as one. This aggression will only further strengthen our cohesion and absolute unity in demanding respect for our leaders and hierarchical superiors.
Last week, Maduro launched the Bolivarian Shield 2025. These large-scale military drills are taking place in northwestern Venezuela and along the border with Colombia. These live-fire joint drills include the participation of the Venezuelan Army, the Air Force, the Navy, the police, and paramilitary forces. More than 150 naval vessels have been deployed. At least 50 fighter jets are taking part. More than 250 tanks have been deployed along the Colombian border, and more than 150,000 troops are taking part in the drills. Venezuelan special forces were paradropped into jungles, simulating cross-border missions into Colombia, and Nicolas Maduro dared the Colombian leadership to come and fight him like real men.
Muy importante, precisamente en el arranque de estos ejercicios.
It is very important to start these exercises in the fight against these criminal groups financed by drugs from Colombia by the paramilitary of former President Álvaro Uribe,
Uno de sus cuadros principales,
one of their main criminal cadres who they have protected for years and turned into one of their heroes. We will inform you of what has happened because we have to liberate the entire national territory.
porque tenemos que liberar todo el territorio nacional.
Maduro then accused Colombia of funding and supporting terror activities inside Venezuela. And in front of thousands of troops, Maduro dared Colombia to start a fight with the Bolivarian armed forces.
Salvo excepciones en algunos lugares.
If any country wants the experience of Venezuela, I extend my hand for the fight against these violence-generating groups that have been supported from Colombia by paramilitarism, drug trafficking, and public enemy number one of Venezuela, Mr. Uribe and Mr. Duque. They were legally declared by the National Assembly Public Enemy Number one of the National Bolivarian Armed Force, of the people of Venezuela, and of the Popular Military Police Fusion.
De la Fuerza Armada Nacional Bolivariana, del pueblo de Venezuela y de la fusión.
Maduro's troops remain deployed along the Colombian border, and now Bogota is facing two challenges. The first is clearly the Venezuelan army, and the second is the resurgence of the left-wing guerrilla group known as the National Liberation Army, or ELN. In mid-January, the ELN launched an attack on civilians, killing over 100, wounding dozens, and kidnapping government officials. The attack took place in Catatumbo. It borders Venezuela and is exactly opposite to Zulia, where Maduro has ordered large-scale drills. In response to Maduro's threats and the ELN attack, Colombia has now deployed a full brigade of troops in the border region. Colombian President Gustavo Petro has accused Venezuela of supporting the ELN guerrillas.
What we see these days is a foreign force occupying the territory. We all said that a foreign force would never enter Colombia because we would die fighting. We have lost much territory because we did not die fighting. But what is in Catatumbo is a foreign force occupying the territory, which is why I said in one of my social media posts that this is a matter of national sovereignty, not just an internal conflict.
When Colombia and Venezuela are compared head-to-head, both Bogota and Caracas seem to be evenly matched. Colombia has almost double the number of troops compared to Venezuela. However, Maduro's forces have a clear advantage in air power, particularly in fighter jets, and in the number of tanks and artillery systems. However, Colombia has a stronger navy, which is almost 7 times the size of the Venezuelan navy. Neither side has a clear advantage in terms of hard power. That is why neither Colombia nor Venezuela are willing to back down. The two countries are refusing to sit and negotiate. Maduro has threatened to call his allies in Cuba and Nicaragua and ask them to join his forces if Colombia shows more aggression. Trump, meanwhile, says that he wants Maduro out, and Putin says he will support the Venezuelan regime. As Colombia-Venezuela relations spiral towards the drumbeats of war, Latin America is being torn as Trump and Putin push and pull for influence.